Hello, I'm Luis. I am the Director of Marketing at DistantJob and the host of the DistantJob podcast.
The COVID-19 outbreak means that lots of companies are transitioning to remote, at least temporarily. But let's be honest here, an on-site company that suddenly needed to go remote is not in the same situation that a company that has been working remotely for years. It's not just about having good Wi-Fi on a computer, there are many other things to keep in mind during this process.
So, in guiding someone step by step from office to remote work, the first thing that I would do was I would have a call with the team. I would introduce the team members and I would say, look, this is just as if we were all at the table, right? This is just as if we were all in the office and we were sitting down at the big table, and the communication is slightly harder because it's when it's a bunch of heads in the screen, it's a bit harder to read gestures and looks and all of that and all the nonverbal communication that comes when sitting at the table. So now that we're all sitting at the table, let's talk about the systems that we're going to use to get work done. So, I would keep drawing parallels between what was used to be done in the office and what we're going to be doing now virtually. What are the other things? Conversations. So in an office, you're working at your computer, and maybe when you need someone, I bet that most people call them, right? But assuming that you're a person that would go up and find that other person you need in your office and talk with them, well, now you need to use Slack like that, right? You need to use Slack for that. You need to see if they're online on Slack, ping them, and even the beauty of it is, even if they're not online on Slack, you can still leave a message anyway, and you know that they will see it once they arrive, or they will get a notification they'll get a notification once they got to their phone.
Did we talk about communication already? I think we did, but remote is essentially about communication. That's why it keeps coming up.
The other thing that I think that it's important to mention to someone who's used to work in an office and is starting to work remotely, is starting to work from home, that other thing is just defining, making them understand what are the several types of communication that one can have in a remote setting. Because again, in an office, you either phone someone or you get up and you physically interact with them. And you need to know when to escalate. When you're working remotely, you need to know when to escalate the conversation.
So, it's not just about learning to over-communicate, but also about knowing which channel is appropriate for each occasion. And that's something that each team has to experience and learn on their own. Although there are many things that will change, the truth is that most companies are already working with web-based software, so other things will stay practically the same.
People were going to the office and they were sitting down at their computer and they were looking through their files on Google Drive. And they were probably using a project management system like Trello or Asana or Basecamp, even though they were sitting in the office.
Transitioning from office to remote is about teamwork, communication, and good management. It's also about finding the right tools for video conference and project management. If you want to learn more about tools for remote work, watch the video below, and if you like this video, leave us your comments and subscribe to our channel.